It's time for the Cover Price Top 10 list for this week. And what could possibly take the top spot over DC's Absolute? Stay tuned to find out, as we're going to go over the top 10 list up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video for the links to my Instagram, my Whatnot, my eBay store, and my email. So Covrprice is a comic book pricing service. They take information from different online sellers, such as eBay and Heritage, to come up with not only graded comic book sales, but also raw sales as well, which makes them kind of unique. And another thing they do is they publish several articles throughout the week, including this weekly top 10 list of the books that have moved most in the aftermarket. And as we see, they tend to be dominated by newer books and a little bit of FOMO out there. But it's also interesting to see when we get some older books on the list. So let's take a look at the top 10 list, starting at number 10. And coming in at number 10 is Mass Effect Redemption, #1 from Dark Horse in 2010. This is a video game comic. Raw books going for about $20 a piece. We can see there's a variant cover, an ash can edition. But it's going about $20. Last sale, $175 and a 9.8. Let's look at the Go Collect data, and this is interesting. And this is not the first book we're going to see like this on the list, where there are 8 copies on the census in a universal, and 5 of those 8 are 9.8s. Actually, 0 9.6s, which is kind of weird. 9.4, a 9, and an 8. And this book has sold. There's only 8 of them. There we go. It's interesting to note that this book, there are only 4 sales, a $300 sale in 2023, a $200 sale earlier this year, and then down to $71 in August, and with the announcement back up to $175. And what was the announcement? Again, this is not a book or that I am familiar with. Mass Effect is a huge sci-fi video game series debuting its first game back in 2007. Since the first game, Mass Effect has seen tremendous success and released 3 sequels, with the 5th game in development since 2020. BioWare, the studio behind the game, recently announced that their team is fully focused on Mass Effect 5 after their release of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. However, that's not the reason this book is trending. It's trending because the Mass Effect property is set to debut a TV series on Amazon Prime Video with Fast and Furious 9 director Daniel Casey at the helm. Originally, the project was supposed to hit the big screen through Legendary Pictures, but it died in development limbo. Now, fans of the game are highly anticipating the newly announced series. In celebration, they are tracking down this comic book series released as a sequel for the first time. Be careful with these low census counts on 9.8s. Again, I don't think this was a highly produced book, but there are going to be more than 8 9.8s out there. It'll be interesting to see how many more 9.8s crop up in the months ahead as people find this book in their collections in high grade and submit them. There will be more than 8. And then what that will do with the price. Let's go to number 9 on the list. Not a dissimilar story here. Emily the Strange, #1 boring issue, chairman of the board, from Dark Horse in 2005. No sales found in graded books. Near mints going $100 to $250. I think I got a copy of what, I don't know if it's this particular issue, but I did get some Emily Strange to garage sale like a few years ago. I don't know where the book is right now. Don't know. I probably did not sell it because nobody wanted it. Let's go to graded sales on Go Collect. Go Collect I like to use for this, although GP analysis is a little bit more thorough in that they take the best offers from eBay, which this does not, but this has pictures and it also includes census count. Interestingly, only 5 copies on the census, all of them 9.8s, but sales of $41 and $34. Again, those are back in 2019 and 2022. Not a book that people have been looking for until the news hit. Emily the Strange may have debuted in comics in 2005, but the character has been around since the 90s. She was originally created as a skateboard graphic in 1991. The character took over a decade to cross over into the comic book world. It took another decade and some years to make the crossover to the big screen. Warner Brothers and Bad Robot are teaming up to bring fans a full-length animated feature. The announcement was made on the official WB Instagram page the day before Halloween. No release date was announced, but that was enough for fans to start tracking down the first issue in their series. Note, this book features 2 pages of stickers. Make sure to check your listing descriptions when hunting this one down. So this is another one to be interesting to see if 9.8s come up for sale. I don't even know. They were like on eBay. I don't see any graded books. And look, they're asking for $300-$400 on eBay. Insanity. Let's move on to number 8. And number 8 is an old book, Captain America 230. This classic cover of Hulk punching Cap with the shield. And we saw this depicted in the trailer for Captain America Brave New World. This book, to get a nicer copy, you're going to have to pay $40 some odd dollars. A recent sale of $150 in a 9.6, all up to $450, and that's several months ago in a 9.8. Again, this book is from 1979, so it's on the cusp. There aren't a ton of 9.8s. Only about 20% of all available copies are 9.8s. $293 or 293 universal copies. 58 of those are 9.8s, and we can see the 9.8 price kind of, did its comic boom thing, went from about $120 book up to a $600 book, and kind of held that for a while. I mean, all the way through 2023, half of 2023, and then it came back down. But this has not retreated to anywhere near where it was pre-comic boom, which is interesting. This classic, I think this is a Ron Friends cover. Let me see. I think that's who it is. No, Ron Wilson. I had the first name right. Ron Wilson, Bob Layton cover. Just a few days ago, Marvel Entertainment posted their Captain America Brave New World trailer on YouTube. This movie has been a roller coaster of emotion, swinging back and forth, being highly anticipated to hesitation and uncertainty. A quick browse through social media shows that this latest trailer has brought back the hype for the next film in the MCU. D23 Brazil might have dropped a hot trailer for the film, but what got this book trending was the new promo art. The movie's new poster features Red Hulk's fist smashing Sam's shield, a perfect homage to this classic cover. That's right. It wasn't in the trailer. It was in the poster art. This is a solid key. It is a cover buy, but it's also a book that went way, way up during the comic boom and still has maintained much more value than it had in 2020. After the hype around the movie, etc., I'm afraid this book has room to drop. Let's go to number 7 on the list. Absolute Wonder Woman number 1, the Daniel Panosian 1 in 25 cover. This is going to set you back maybe upwards of $50. There's a pre-sale of $124 in a 9.8. I haven't read Absolute Wonder Woman yet. I did get a copy of cover A, and I'll probably get a second print. Absolute Wonder Woman is following the same trend as Batman. The Absolute Universe is a hit with fans, and so is this artwork by Panosian. For the most part, it looks like the value has plateaued on the aftermarket. However, sales have not slowed down. Fans of the series are still hitting the aftermarket to secure their 1 in 25 ratio cover and add it to their Wonder Woman collection. Let's go to number 6 on the list. It's Absolute Batman number 1, the Jim Lee foil cover. A 9.8 for only $63, near mint's about $15 to $25. Absolute Batman continues dominating the top 10 with its regular cover and variants. This cover is currently the most popular trending variant. Just like the Wonder Woman variant, it is a fantastic cover by legendary Jim Lee. The price for a virgin foil cover is also not outlandish, especially on such a popular book. It is likely that we will continue to see this book trend into next week. Let's go to number 5. Absolute Wonder Woman number 1, the Jim Lee foil cover. Again, not pricey, 10 to 20 bucks, high 50s in a 9.8. Just like The Dark Knight, Wonder Woman also received the Jim Lee foil treatment. The absolute Amazon prepares for battle as she brandishes her massive sword. The cover is a phenomenal depiction of the alternate version of Wonder Woman, showcasing her darker undertones. The price is not astronomical for such a great cover and legendary artist. This is a reasonable buy for those seeking to add a foil cover to their absolute collection. Let's go to number 4 for a little something different. Tales of the Bizarre, number 9. This is a book that came out last week and is now going for, $36? It's an anthology series from Dren Productions. Tales of the Bizarre. Number 9. Talk about a tale of the bizarre. This book is a surprise and a complicated addition to this week's top 10. The community has many questions for the Fiverr artist named Zaf and how this art is produced. We discussed it in detail in Friday's Comics Covered YouTube show. However, then the cover is still gorgeous and has many collectors picking up a copy. The book is an anthology horror series that is meant to bring back the nostalgic feeling of those old school B movies. I don't know. Music of Eric Zahn, is that? I don't know what the connection is here. Again, a very independent title. It is a nice looking cover. I'll give you that, but not sure it's a bloody hitchhiking. I guess that's what the cover depicts. It's kind of weird. It's very waifish. Let's go to number 3 on the list. And it is Absolute Wonder Woman, number 1. About a $10 book, maybe a little bit more. $50-ish in 9.8. I'm pretty sure those are pre-sales. I don't know if we have that to market yet in a 9.8. We'll check that out soon enough. Following on the heels of Batman, Wonder Woman is forging her own trail in the aftermarket. 3 weeks after the second book in the Absolute Universe debuted, Wonder Woman is still going strong. This book introduced a new version of the Amazon warrior depicting her upbringing in hell. The new version of Princess Diana is positively received, causing her book to continue its positive trend. Number 2, Absolute Batman, number 1. This one's a little more expensive, and 9/8 are selling over $100. By now, Absolute Batman has become a staple of our top 10 list. This issue has been strongly trending since its release, showing no signs of slowing down. A full month after it debuted, this regular cover is still making waves. The initial issue that kicked off the Absolute Universe event is a DC top seller. We tracked 104 copies sold, a 7-day growth trend of 22%, with a high sale of $110 for a CGC 9.8 and a current near mint raw price of $22. So, one of the things I find interesting is Absolute Superman is not on the list. And I read that. I thought it was fantastic. I actually thought it was better, written by Jason Aaron. I haven't read Wonder Woman yet. I actually like Superman better than Batman, but just kind of how collectors are blasé about Superman in general may have contributed to that. But what took the number 1 list? It's not an Absolute book. What is it? It's Spider-Boy number 11, the first appearance of the character who will become the new Spider-Girl. Wow, it's a Paco Medina regular cover. There's a Godzilla variant. That's interesting. 10, 15 or so dollars, $60 in pre-orders of 9.8s. Let's look at this. It is clear that Marvel is producing the next generation of heroes. Spider-Boy had an immensely successful debut, and it looks like the next Spider character will have the same success. The new Spider-Girl made her cameo appearance in this issue as an unnamed apprentice to longtime villain Bullseye. In the following issue, she first appears as she defeats Spider-Boy and Daredevil. On November 27th, Spider-Boy number 13 will be the first cover appearance of this new villainess. Those are 3 key issues in a row, but it looks like fans are opting for the character's cameo appearance this week. One of the things that should be pointed out, and I've mentioned this recently on these lists as well as elsewhere, how many Spider characters are we going to get? But the reality of it is the creators, the writers, the artists, they don't want to take a unique concept that they have come up with and do it in a work for hire project like Marvel or DC. Look at what Jeff Johns has done over with Geiger and Redcoat and Junkyard Joe over on the independent side, where he owns the rights to those characters. He created a whole bunch of new characters for the JSA, book, but they're all derivatives. They were basically sidekicks. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a new Hulk character, new Spider characters, new Bat characters, reiterations of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, etc. We're not getting new concepts from DC or Marvel just because it doesn't make sense for the writers to use their new ideas, brand new ideas, when they cannot control the content. Whereas if they establish themselves with Marvel or DC, they could publish something unique for, let's say, Image, where they would retain creator control. That being said, let's look at the runners-up, numbers 11 through 20 on the list. And at number 11 is Venom War number 4, John Jiang, 1 in 25. Number 12, Mark Spears' Monsters, the second print, the Halloween movie poster homage, 1 in 20. We all know the Mark Spears books have been very hot. And even though we're now after Halloween, it's still popular. Here's an absolute Superman, the Jim Lee 1 in 100 black and white sketch. 14, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 0, a kind of preview of the new miniseries. At number 15 is Spider-Man 654. We've mentioned that Agent Venom, Anti-Venom is back in a big way, but Anti-Venom has been underutilized for so long that many fans didn't realize he even existed. Well, they got their wake-up call and immediately pivoted to the aftermarket, searching for copies of his first appearance in this book. Absolute Batman number 1, the second print, 1 in 25. Spawn number 1 will show up on the list every once in a while. Venom number 4. With Null, and we are going to see more of Null, it seems. New Mutants 98 still staying strong after the Deadpool Wolverine movie. And finally, at number 20, related to that Captain America cover, here we have Hulk number 1, first appearance of Red Hulk. So that's going to do it for the Cover Price Top 10 list. Let me know what you think of the comics below. Are you into the Absolute books? Are you looking forward to Spider-Girl? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.